athlete as well. He showed you a thing or two on the basketball court last year.
Yeah, everybody shows me a thing or two.
Eric also knows his way around a golf course pretty well. All right, action continues at this featured table. Andrea Pivet looks at ace king of clubs.
Now, this guy's a better writer than me. He's a novelist and screenwriter.
36 years old at his first World Series. He raises to 900. Lindgren with pocket fours.
You know, one of these days I'm going to get one of these guys out there to play skee ball, and we'll see who's king of the hill.
Oh, yeah. Lindgren will call. And he'll go up against Pivet once again. The flop is ace, 4 ace. Wow. Lindgren hits a full boat. Pivet trip aces. Wow, this might be a big pot.
1,400.
What a tough spot for Pivet with trip aces, top kicker. It would be difficult for a pro, never mind an amateur, to get away from a hand like this in the main event.
Pivet bet 1,400. Lindgren raised to 4,200 with his full boat, and Pivet calls. To the turn now. Turn card 6 of clubs. Eric Lindgren still way ahead with his full house. Pivet adds a flush draw and checks. Eric makes it 9,000.
Pivet senses trouble.
Cool.
But a quick call.
But this is a spot where many players might push all in and then would be in really deep trouble.
River card is at 10. Lindgren with 4s full has the check mark. Pivet checks. Eric bets about half the pot, 14,000.
That's most of Pivet's chips. So tough for him to get away from this. It's a big pot.
And that is it for me.
Yeah, if he calls, he's all but done.
Oh, man.
Trip aces and top kicker. He must think his hand's good.
Very unfortunate. Well, action flop. You got 4s, Mr. Lindgren?
Yes, he does. Pivet's radar is up and running well.
You get 4s.
This would be a huge laydown.
You got 4s. You got 4s. 4, 4, 4, 4.
A lot of 4s.
2 red 4s.
Well, they're not both red line, but they are both 4s.
I call.
He calls anyway.
You got 4s.
He has 4s.
Lucky fours. Fours for aces.
What a difficult and devastating hand for Pivet.
Very well played, though.
He's not out, but he's crippled.
Such a lucky flop.
Yeah, it seems Lady Luck is still smiling down on the 2008 Player of the Year, his main event.
All right, action continuing at this table. Action on Bren Kenny, 22-year-old New Yorker with ace-8 offsuit, a raise to 900.
Kenny's got a weak ace. I've said my piece.
Locke gives it up. Annette Oberstad will not play. Action folds over to Johnny Lawden. Johnny Lawden with pocket trays. What does Johnny think about that? A call of the 900. William Haughey folds Queen Deuce. He's from Glasgow, Scotland. Esfandiari in the big blind with ace-9 of diamonds makes a call for 600 more. 3 players will see this flop of ace, tray, deuce. Lawden hits a set.
What does Johnny Lawden think of that flop?
I'm sure he loves it. Esfandiari and Kenny paired their ace. Esfandiari with a better kicker. Esfandiari checked. Kenny bets 1,400. Johnny Lawden with a set of trays now. With just the call.
He call?
And Esfandiari with another ace that is dead in the water.
And he's putting together more than 1,400. It's a check raise to 51.25. So over to Kenny, who has an even smaller ace than Antonio.
Well, Kenny doesn't want to go home.
And he folds his ace-8 exposed. So the re-raise now back to Johnny Lawden.
How much is it?
37 and a quarter.
Lawden has just a little less than 9,000 left in his stack.
5,050 more.
And it all goes into the pot. So all in from Lawden. Re-raise back to Antonio.
Antonio has a World Series bracelet and a WPT title, but right now he's got a 2% hand.
Now the real question.
Ace Jack, Johnny.
Antonio thinks his ace might be out-kicked. It's even worse than that.
He calls.
3 of a kind.
And 3 of a kind against the aces. Esfandiari almost drawing dead.
Nice hand. Thank you.
Loddon all in with a hammer lock on this hand.
Johnny Loddon in good shape to double up, and the turn will end the hand. Antonio Esfandiari is drawing dead. Johnny Loddon doubles up.
And I'll tell you, Lon, what Johnny Loddon's thinking right now. He's thinking, I just doubled up. You see, not all his thoughts are all that complex.
So a big swing of the pendulum. That pot hurt Esfandiari and gave new life to Johnny Loddon.
At least. Yeah, and Julian, you always get dealt this hand with this stack, you know? you have the most difficult stack to play, and you get ace-10 suited on the
Just
gun.
when you're ready for all the trash that
Yeah,
you've
you're
been
just
looking at the entire final table.
You've been getting dealt absolute nonsense all tournament, and then you have to get ace-10 suited in this spot. I don't think it's too bad. Yeah, in this scenario, I don't suppose we'll get
No.
attacked too much by the guys behind.
Well,
But
chip leader is on the button, right?
He is, yes. Paul, kind of tough spot. I think this is a fold.
Yeah, it's a very tough spot.
I
Any
don't-
other time in the tournament, it's an easy jam.
Yeah, I really don't like call. I think
No.
call has to be the worst option. And David good fold there, king 5 off. Somewhat simple, but I see people call there. Myself, for example. Wow.
Oh, the absolute perfect
Of
flop.
course. Gives him the suspicious look. Wouldn't be surprised to see Julian check back here. That's
Nah.
for sure the worst ace he really ever has.
And Paul should have a decent amount of ace-x from the small blind.
Yeah, absolutely. But does elect to bet, goes super small, which I like. Quarter pot. Although realistically on this, I mean you're really targeting. If you're bluffing here, you're targeting stuff like King Queen of Spades or King Jack of Spades, I guess. King Queen probably goes all in pre-flop.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I mean, even so, I mean, it's hard to find a hand you're going to get, worse hand to get paid off with.
Right.
3 streets here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think there's a tendency here to just be like, omk trips, bet, bet, bet.
Yeah.
But for sure, your opponent's like, all his hand's worse than an ace that call a flop are just going to fold this turn.
Yeah.
So you're
They
really
elect to bluff the river.
right. So I like the idea to check back here. Thing is, you do also want to protect against a flush draw, even if he's going to fold. You know, you don't want to take that swing of giving him the free shot at it on the river. But he does elect to check back. I think it's good.
And we imagine it just goes bet call here.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Paul's going to bet, he's not going to go small here. But even if he does, it's pretty tricky to really think of a hand that's going to call a raise. That's worse than ace-10. So yeah, sort of medium-sized bet here. I mean, yeah, pretty clear call there for Julian. So yeah, he saved some money there with the turn jet back.
Luckily enough, didn't face a huge bet.
Yeah. I think this is well played hand by Julian.
Round 2. Vanessa needing to win this one if she's to stay alive in the heads-up challenge.
Barry looks down at pocket sevens and raises to 6 1/4, he says.
See, 2 raises
Vanessa
to
with
6,
king 9
25.
off suit. And will call. The thing about heads up is you are forced to play so many hands. And look at this. The flop is king 7. So Vanessa Selbst flops trips, but Barry Woods has absolutely crushed her on the flop by flopping a full house.
See, 1 bet
Need a
600.
king or a 9. Neither of these players is going anywhere. The money will go in here.
Well, Vanessa bets straight into the pot here, so Barry must be curious as to why she would do that. Would she really do that with a king?
600.
And he just smooth calls with his full house.
See, 2 calls.
So we go to the turn. It is a deuce of diamonds, so Barry still with the best of it. But Vanessa, for sure, believes she is ahead.
He has 4 outs.
The bet is 1,700.
One bit, 1,700.
Will he move here?
Well, you know, she's very interested in this board.
Takes another look.
Giving it the full Hollywood, as you'd expect from a Californian.
See 2 calls.
And he makes the call, so we will see a river. It is a 6 of hearts, so Barry Woods will win the hand, unless he folds. He's not going to do that. Vanessa, with trips, probably still thinks she's got the best hand. If she bets here, she certainly thinks she's got the best hand. Has she picked up the scent that Barry has flopped a full house on it?
He's called every bet she's made.
See, one bit's 4.5.
She does have him out-chipped, I believe.
Barry thinks it's Christmas. She's bet on every streak, 4,500. He moves all in on the river, and she calls. And look at the face of Vanessa Selbst. She just cannot believe her luck.
She loses with 7s, and then she loses 2 7s. It never rains, but it pours.
Well, a wry smile there
River.
from Vanessa and
Did you
Barry.
think you had more money? Why did it take so long?
Kind of unfazed.